Okay, on to question 3. So this one is given a partially filled in assembly code and C code, potentially stack values, though this is all filled in for this particular question, fill in the blanks. So part A, given the value of EBP is BFFF808 and ESP is BFFF7F8. So basically it's going from here to remember that 808 is pointing to, if this is EBP and this is ESP over here, the first byte pointed to by EBP is sort of below the stack. So this is considered garbage here. So what is the size of the stack frame? This is really just math. So OXBFFF808 minus OXBFFF7F8. We're just subtracting those. 8 minus 8 is 0. 0 minus F we can't do without borrowing, so we borrow from the 8 here. And this becomes 16 minus F, which is 15, so that gives us 1. And then 7 minus 7 is 0. And the rest of it is just 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, since we're just subtracting the same number every time. So we've got OX10, and this is in hex. We remember that that is 16 times 1 plus 0 equals 16 bytes. Okay. Fill in the debugger command to display the entire stack to the screen. So basically what produced this output, or I guess a little beyond that output actually, we want to print 16 from there, bytes in hex, or hex bytes, and we're going to print that from the start of the stack frame, which is $ESP. So nothing too special there, just filling in that command, making sure that you know what that GDB x/ command looks like. So that's another good thing for your cheat sheet. Part C, fill in the 2 blanks in the C code. So this we need to look at the numbers that are in memory and sort of understand what goes where. So I'm just going to kind of lay out what we expect the stack to look like in these boxes here. So we know that what we have right now is that ESP is here, EBP is pointing to the garbage byte after that. So I'm just kind of dividing up the bytes in memory that we have here into roughly like if we put these lines there and here, just trying to show what's in memory there. So start is the first thing on our stack because we read our variables top down and we build the stack bottom up. So the first byte that's not garbage is here. So that would be our variable start. The next thing to the left of that would be nuke, right? Because we see that start is here. So then the next thing up in memory, which is to the left of it, would be nuke. And keep in mind, this is at address 800. This is at 804. So 804 is further down in memory than 800. And then moving on up, we know that today is in this block of memory, and we would know that USMC is over there. So that's sort of our layout, right, in the box that we have up there in between ESP and EBP. So that's what we're looking for. So the first thing, just to get start, we have this value and 00000735. That's in little endian order. So we need to sort of read that from right to left and write it from left to right. So that becomes 00000735, and that's in hex, right? And then we convert that to decimal using our calculator, and that gets us 1845. So we can fill in the value for start because that's what we see in memory there. So from that, then we need to figure out what the value of USMC is how we got that value for USMC. So let's see what USMC is using the same logic there. We look and we see 000006EF. So USMC equals 06EF, which is going to be equal to, sorry, I got to calculate for a second, 0x6EF. Decimal, again, use your calculator, and that gets us 1775. So now we need to figure out what is 1775 minus today. Well, today is nuke minus 1775, and so that is 1947 minus 1775, and that gives us 172. Which then, if we sort of reverse engineer this, we know that today is 172, and we got 1775 for USMC. Then that must be 172 plus 1775, and that gives us 1947. So that could be either 1947 here, or I think in the solution it says it's nuke. But either way would work, is to sort of put that value back into the code. So we're just again reverse engineering that thing that we see in memory, and then fill in the one blank in assembly code. So here we're looking for what is the value that is 79B, and we can see that that's sort of in the stack diagram. That is the value that's in the place for nuke. And we can also sort of build this up from our code and assume that this is, if there is no padding, that this is the next thing that's in memory. But if we see it here, we know that EBP is here, that value is there, so it's 800 or 808 minus 800, so that is EBP minus 8 gets us to that value in memory. That's it for question 3.